Welcome back once again, and as we earlier said, we're going to be monitoring the developments in Syria and these really strikes that targeted places in Syria early before, and we're very delighted to be having with us over the phone Mr. Amr Abdulrahman, the journalist and writer and also political analyst. Good morning, Mr. Abdulrahman.
Well, good morning to you. Hello to you and the dear viewers.
It's a real pleasure having you today in the breakfast show, of course. Tell us, could you brief us on the situation in Syria? How far have the developments and the aggressive strikes over Syria been going through? What's exactly the story? What's going on in Syria now?
I believe what's going on in Syria right now, as we are witnessing the escalation of the situation, and as we witness new assaults, Israeli assaults against the Syrian land. This is a consequence of what happened in Syria since, tactically since the past few months, and strategically since 10 or 12 years now. I believe that as a consequence of what they call it, the Arab Spring, as I prefer to name it, Zionist Spring, that threatened the stability of Syria and other countries around it. And of course, the final chapter, but it's not the end, of course, the terroristic coup masterminded by Turkey and other countries to replace the regime in Syria with a terroristic regime, along with the demolition of the Syrian army, which calls the first field Arabic army in the region, that has left Syria defenseless, without an army to defend, without air force, without soldiers, without weaponry to fight back any assault. It has made Syria each and every man's land. It's a no man's land. Anyone can strike, anyone can assault, and of course, we are witnessing the expanding of the Turkish influence in Syria, as well as the strikes that has started in Syria since the very beginning of the last crisis. Right afterwards, the coup that was masterminded by Turkey in Syria, we have witnessed assault, Israeli assault, without even a statement given by the new authority against those assaults. We have witnessed Israeli bombing and shelling the air force airports and the airplanes, the military airplanes in Syria. Each and every piece of weaponry in Syria is being bombed or demolished or destroyed throughout what happened in the coup or the assaults by the Zionist existence. I believe that no one speaks about this. No one, the international media is speechless, doesn't even mention what's going on, except for enhancing or just spotting some light. There was an assault today, there was an attack today, but is there an explanation they give? They don't. While the explanation is wide, clear, crystal clear, Syria has become without an army, without a regime. Maybe we were different. We had our differences with the past Syrian regime, but that doesn't mean to leave Syria without a legitimate regime and without an army. I believe that more consequences of the same matter are being expected, and I believe, of course, that until we reach the point of an equalizing of the situation in Syria with the hand of the Syrian nation, to make it clear to the whole world that the Syrian nation is not dead, it's not captured with terroristic regime. It's alive, and it can save its own country, because Syria is the right wing of the Arabic national security, as well as Iraq. And of course, we have witnessed the chaos and the attack against Iraq, and of course today in Syria. I believe that is a high and a very high priority to our own national security, as in Egypt, as in the Arabic region.
Right. So, how did the situation exactly? How relevant is the situation in Lebanon to Syria? I mean, how did the situation in Lebanon could affect Syria?
Well, of course, Lebanon is in the eye of the storm. It's in the eye of the storm. It's in the eye of the hurricane. And of course, we have witnessed that Lebanon spent more than 30 years now without a solid regime to give its own stability that the Lebanese deserve. There are divided authorities, divided opinions, divided politicians, and of course we have the influence of what they call it Hezbollah in Lebanon, which is an Iranian arm against the Arabic best interest, and against the situation, against the stability in the region. And of course, the existence of Hezbollah in Lebanon is an excuse that is always used by the Israeli army to launch any attack against the Arabic land in Lebanon, claiming it's fighting against Hezbollah. And of course, there is a conflict of interest between Hezbollah and Israel in Lebanon, but that doesn't mean that Lebanon is free of losses. Lebanon has lost a lot, suffered big deal since decades right now. And of course, the conflict of interest, whether the Iranian, whether the Israeli, is the main responsible for the chaotic scene in Lebanon.
Right. So, of course, it is obvious now, and as the world is monitoring, that Israel is seizing some parts in Syria, which is not a good sign, and it's very dangerous, and the situation is escalating. And but how does that signify what's going on? What should be going in the future?
As I have mentioned, there will be consequences, and even more consequences. We are witnessing today, as we are speaking, the expanding of the influence, the Turkish influence in the northern Syria, within parts of the Syrian land that was taken unlegitimately since 100 years ago. And of course, we are witnessing the expanding of the Israeli and the Zionist influence in the Syrian land all the way to the Euphrates River. That means a huge threat to the Arab region and a great danger to our own best interests in the Arabic East. We are witnessing claims with forged statements historically and religiously given by the Israeli responsibles. They call it bigger Israel, which is not, doesn't have any existence whether in the religion or in history. But on the ground, we are witnessing the expanding of the Zionist influence all the way to Euphrates, and that means they are trying to cover up their actions with curtains of lies and a curtain of deceiving scenes or statements. But on the ground, the threat is going on, and on the ground, we are fighting or about to reach the point of conflict with this threat, because this is a battle of existence that we should use each and every mean and each and every way to fight back and to protect our own national security in the region.
Right. Israel is attempting and claiming that it is seizing parts in Gaza, seizing parts in other places in Palestine, because that is their land, that is their historical rights, and they were assigned by God that they should take possession of some parts of in the region. But what is their justification of seizing parts in Syria and hijacking the country like that and killing the innocent civilians inside other countries in accordance with killing people, civilians in Palestine? I mean, what is the official justification? How do they justify such acts, like the acts that took place when they hit strikes over Koya in Syria's Daraa province?
Well, this is exactly what you kindly mentioned, the vision the Israeli adopt toward the Arabic nation at large. They don't believe that Arabic citizen is a worth or a life worthy, or even deserve to be alive. They are using the expression goyim about the Arabs, and even not the Arabs, whoever is not Israeli, they call it goyim. So they don't care about lives. They don't care about saving lives. They launch their airstrikes. They don't care how many dead. They don't care how many children or women are dead. They are using excuses like in Gaza Strip. They are using the excuse of Hamas delaying of handing over the captive. Well, today, as we are speaking, there is no there is no Hamas anymore. There is no Hamas anymore. It's all of the leaders of Hamas was assassins. So there is no excuse for even more and more violation of the international law and more violations in Gaza Strip against the civilians. They are using the strategy of burning land and killing people massively without any care about life or international law or any law, but the law on the barrel of a gun. The same thing in Syria. It's an open field to launch their strikes, and there is nothing to defend them. No one even willing to defend the Syrian land of the new authority. Well, of course, that represents the opinions given by some experts and high-level experts that we are dealing with a terroristic regime in Syria right now that has connections with the Mossad and the Israeli administration. This is the only explanation. As we are witnessing airstrikes against Syria without any defense, without any even statement, just a statement to condemn the assault. They don't even declare a statement against the Israeli assault. What does it? I believe it's all clear, crystal clear to the whole world. This is a masterminded coup to open the gates of Sham, of Syria, all the way to the influence of the colonization, whether the Israeli or the Turkish or even by the Iranian.
Right. What is worth also observance and analysis also is the reaction of the current Syrian regime or administration. I mean, what exactly is the response of me as a Syrian administration when I wake up in the morning and I see an aggression, an assault against my borders and the seizure of some parts in my country without, is there any type of reaction or statement that was given by the Syrian administration under Ahmed Shara?
Until this very moment, and backward to
And what does that
4 months.
signify? What exactly does that would signify? That they are in, I mean, acceptance? Is that a mode of acceptance? Maybe?
Why wouldn't good acceptance? If they didn't even give a statement, they didn't even declare a statement to refuse, to reject, to oppose, to say this is an aggression against the Syrian land. They didn't even launch a bullet against the Israelis. They didn't protect. This is the duty of a legitimate authority to protect its own land, its own people, its own nation. This didn't happen since the very beginning of this coup until this very moment. Not even a statement. Not even a statement, not even a situation to be taken, not even a comment. As if they are, as if the Israeli airstrikes against another nation, not against the Syrian nation. It's a dramatic situation that we have never witnessed in all of the history that as we know it. What we are witnessing right now is a very dangerous situation. Needs the unity of the Arabic nation. Needs the unity of situation on the Arabic front, with all the policies that we need, with all the efforts that we need, with all our connections with the whole world, with all the fortunes that we have and we possess, and we can use as a weapon, as a way to deal with this danger that is threatening the existence of the Arabic nation in Syria and in Iraq, and God knows what else.
Right. Of course, there is no denial that Syria is a very dear part of the Arab world and a cornerstone, historically speaking, of its army and its people and everything, and the unity, historical unity between Syria and Egypt and all that. Now that we're looking at Syria collapsing that way, with the dangers that Syria is facing from some parts, one part facing chaos and facing instability and facing killings and facing ethnic cleansing, and also on another part strikes from Israel without no attempt whatsoever from the Syrian administration, the current regime, trying to defend the honor of their country or anything. It's very sad to see Syria falling apart that way. Now, with Egypt standing still alone, like a solid stone in the Arab region, defying all the dangers that is currently taking place, and taking the helm of protecting the surrounding countries and all that. How do you assess the situation from the Egyptian part and on the Syrian part?
Well, Egypt is moving toward the right direction, which is containing the danger, containing the threat. But Egypt alone can never achieve the ultimate goal. The ultimate achievement here is by uniting the Arabic forces, the Arabic powers, the Arabic situation. Egypt is in the lead, using all its influence, all its relations with the brotherly countries, whether in Gulf countries or in African in the African countries, the Arabic African countries like Algeria and Tunisia and other countries. But one country can never do what we have to do. We need to contain the danger. That means we need to surround the threat. The threat is in Syria. What's going on in Syria right now is a copy-paste in the most brutal way of what happened in Iraq when the American invasion and European invasion demolished all of the Iraqi army, and they have massively killed more than 1 million or 2 million of the Iraqi nation, left the country in division. Some of the country is under the influence of Iran. Other countries, other parts of the countries are under the influence of Turkey and whatsoever. We need today to save what we have, because 20 years ago we have lost Iraq, and today we have lost Syria. And in the chaotic scene since 12 years, we have lost Yemen, we have lost almost lost Libya, we have lost other countries, we have almost lost Tunisia until it regained its powers again as a state. We are under the judgment of history. Today we need to collaborate together, work together, what's left of the Arabic countries, to save what's left, because each and every couple of years we are witnessing the downfall of a country. Today we are witnessing Syria's downfall. This can never be a state, because in history, how can we recognize a state without an army? Without an army. How can we accept a country like this? A country or a regime demolish, destroy its own army.
Right.
The same thing in Gaza Strip. We need to see a Palestinian state with a Palestinian army and Palestinian police with its own political and economical situation. That's how we save. That's how we reestablish Gaza Strip. And that's how we save the Syrian land. It's a very important land, a very brotherly and a close nation to Egypt, Syrians, of course.
Right. On that note, of course, Mr. Amr Abdulrahman, the writer, the journalist, and the political analyst, would like to thank you so much talking to us on the Breakfast Show this morning. Many thanks to all of you. You have a good day.